everyone. I have a lot to say on this topic, but I feel like I don't have a lot of time to talk about it that much today. And it's mainly about like my BPD. I am going to be posting a video about that. I was talking about it, I think about end of 2018, so like a year and a half ago. And I never posted that video, at least I don't think I did. But it's a very intense thing to be added, or not added, as like to be realized as a part of my personality. And it's not easy to deal with. But one of the bigger things that I wanted to talk about with that today, because I've been very intensely feeling it recently, is like my abandonment issues. And I mean, it stems from all different sorts of stuff from when I was younger. So there's that. But with quarantine and everything, like it's made it harder, I guess, for me to reassure myself on not being abandoned. I also have a very big problem with feeling like I'm not good enough for other people as well, and that's also another thing that has been, really on my mind. And it's just really difficult to acknowledge and handle. But anyways, with the abandonment issues and things of that nature, like on one of the like 9 traits of somebody who has BPD is, abandonment issues, like strong abandonment issues. And there's also a lot of black and white thinking, and that's definitely how I used to be a lot. I'm trying to get out of that, but it's part of me as well. So there are things that I am not able to get out of the black and white thinking for, like with loyalty, which I do talk about in my other BPD video. I think I only got through the first 4 things, and then people came home and I wasn't able to talk about it anymore. But yeah. So recently I have been trying to keep in contact with like friends and everything, and there's a point where I feel like I can't let people reach out to me and I have to reach out to them, because I don't want them to abandon me in a way. But at the same time, like, I've also been trying to let that happen more. So like I will go a week, 2 weeks without talking to one of my friends. And I guess the thing that really brought it up recently was one of my friends texted me and asked me if one of my other friends was okay, because friend number 2 hadn't responded to friend number 1. And they are not friends. Like, they do, like, we've known each other. We've all known each other since high school, and it's been almost 10 years since then, but they were never friends. Like, they can be polite with each other, but they don't hang out together. They don't talk to each other. They just don't, nothing like that. And so in my mind, they are my friends, but they are not friends, if that makes sense. And one of the things that I've always had a problem with is I really like facilitating other people getting to know each other, but at the same time, it scares the shit out of me, because of the fact that it makes me feel like they are just going to become friends and leave me entirely out of it. Like, they are just going to forget about me and, never talk to me again. And it is one of the biggest fears I have in life, And it's really hard admitting that, and actually like feeling it and letting myself feel it, because I don't know, like I feel like I'm very much so, you know, like I said, a facilitator of other people, and I'm very motivational and stuff like that, but I don't want to be just used and then, you know, forgotten, I guess. And I did talk about that in my last video that I had posted, which I had recorded, I think about a year to a year and a half ago, as well. But it's like, it's really hard because it just feels like I'm very possessive over my friends. I'm very possessive over the people that I care about. And I give the people that I care about everything of me. Like I give them, you know, literally my entire self. And it's very hard for me to do that because I don't want them to, you know, then just leave. I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess it's just like me voicing the fact that I'm scared and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to get past it. And I do understand that, like, you know, if somebody wants to leave my life, then, you know, maybe they weren't meant to be in it for more than, you know, however long they were in it for. But then I feel like I'm going to be entirely alone. And I don't want that to be a thing. And like, I don't like to feel left out of stuff either. Like, if I was the facilitator of certain people meeting, like, I don't like to be left out because I guess I feel like I should be included. Like, I set up this relationship for you guys, this friendship for you guys. Like, you know, I don't know why. It sounds so selfish, and I know that. And it just goes back to being enough for other people, or being valued for who I am, or, you know, just, it has gotten to the point. I've had friends that I have facilitated them meeting, and then one of those friends doesn't talk to me anymore. And they talk to the other friend that I helped them meet. And they are now, like, you know, as close as can be. And I'm still close to the other friend, but like I said, the other one doesn't talk to me at all, and I feel like they just used me for that. And I feel like vice versa, like the other friend also has met not all of, but like many of my friends. And I had to also stop it at one point because I feel like they are trying to take away my friends. And I feel like that is a super shitty thing for me to say. But I don't know how to stop feeling that way. I don't know how to get over that feeling. I don't know how to get through it. And it feels like some people are just trying to steal my friends, and then, you know, I feel like I get pushed to the wayside, and it's so hard to not have expectations of the people that I keep in my circle. but it's also very, very hard to like not feel like I've given somebody, I don't know, like a really good gift, and I don't expect like a return gift back, but I guess my expectation is that they don't undervalue what I just gave them, that they will end up not appreciating what I can give and how I give it and how often I give. And it's so hard to overcome, because like I want to give these parts of myself, but I don't want to feel underappreciated, because that's how I felt my entire life. And you know, it's such an intense feeling that I avoid it. I avoid it all the time. And I mean, it's happening again. Like it pissed me off when, so going back to one of the other scenarios, friend 1 and friend 2, they were both my friends. We knew each other since high school, and then they just apparently now started talking for whatever reason. You know, like I've said before that like they should talk, but friend number 2 never really wanted to talk to friend number 1. Like, I mean, they just don't get along personality-wise. And so now they were, you know, we're talking or whatever, and like whatever, that's fine. And I know how friend number 2 feels about friend number 1, but I also don't know how they started talking and are like, oh, you know, we're gonna do whatever, because I haven't talked to friend number 2 about it in, you know, a little while. And then just recently, friend number 1 texted me and asked me, hey, why isn't this person responding to me like we were supposed to, you know, hang out or whatever? And like, do you know what's up with them? Like, do you know if they're okay? That's like a slap in the face for me, because you don't even ask me if I'm doing okay half the time, most of the time. I can't remember the last time you asked if I was okay. And you're going through me to ask if my friend, somebody who I know doesn't really, you know, mesh well with you and hasn't meshed well with you for 8 years, but you're asking me if they're okay. And you're asking me why they haven't responded to you. Like, that's just, it hurts. And I did not message back. I've tried to completely ignore that message because I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know if I'm crazy in the fact of thinking that, you know. Like, granted, I haven't talked to friend number 2 in probably like a week or so, but, you know, like I know that she's fine. And like I've checked in with all of my friends, you know, to make sure that they're okay. And I check in with all my friends, if not every other day, like at least once a week, usually. There are some friends that I know that I can leave for a little bit longer because they don't want to be prodded that much. Like they want to wait a few weeks before they talk. And to be asked if somebody else is okay, like to try to get to somebody else through me, is like, number 1, shitty, because you're not even trying to hang out with me right now. Like you're not even trying to spend any quality time with me. And like, I don't know whether or not I should be heard about that, because I don't know what they're, you know, thinking. And I don't want to come across as this crazy person. But I also just don't understand. And like, maybe they think that I'm okay. Maybe. But there's like no concern for me. I don't know. there's that. And it's very hard for me to understand certain aspects of why I feel the way that I do or why I think the way that I do. It's much harder for me to understand how I feel, or why I feel so intensely about it. And it's like, I know that it's not the end of the world. You know I can rationalize if, we're drifting apart or something. I can rationalize that, but there's a very, very big part of me that still feels it so intensely, and then brings this to other relationships and things that, I actually deal with, which I know is wrong. I've worked through so many of these different things, but it still keeps coming back, and it's so hard to it's hard to continually do this all the time. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are certain videos that I post that it's I'm saying this is, what I know and why I know it and what I've learned. Just because I've learned something doesn't mean that I always know how to put it into use. I still struggle with that, and I think every single person does, no matter what you've learned. And I always say that you learn things, and then when you forget what you've learned, sometimes you are put into situations, so you relearn it. I feel like that's a legit thing that life tries to continue doing for you. And that goes into a whole different spiritual aspect of heaven and things like that. So if you want to know how I feel about that, please leave me a comment and I will do that. I will do that video. But yeah, I don't know how to get over my abandonment issues to where it doesn't affect me anymore. And I don't think that's an actual possibility, because you can't stop the way that you feel about something. You can just feel it and try to, get through it. You're not wrong for feeling the way that you do. There's reasons behind everything that you feel. There's reasons behind everything that you do. It's just whether or not you try to get through it, And I don't know. I don't know what else I was trying to say with this video. I guess I just want to put it out there that nobody's perfect, and I'm still struggling with things that I've already learned, and there's just a lot of abandonment issues going on in my friendship life right now. There's, friends that I've been with for many, many years, and I don't know. And it's not the first time, okay, sidebar. It's not the first time that I've had loyalty issues with this friend either, and that's a whole different story. But I know that I'm a valuable person, that I have valuable things that I can, give to other people. So when I finally work through all of this, I know that I will be back in that mindset and back in the place of, if they want to leave, it's okay. They can leave. Yes, I will be upset about it. Yes, I will be hurt by it, but it is not going to be the end of the world for me. It's just that right now I am feeling this very strongly, and I am feeling this, in these certain scenarios. And I just wanted to show you that I don't stop myself from feeling these things. There's no way for me to stop what I'm feeling unless I cut off my emotions, and that's not a good thing. So I guess I'm just trying to show that it's still hard. No matter what you're going through, it's hard. It's hard when you're going through it, and it gets easier, or it gets easier to get yourself back into the mindset that you want to be in. But it's all of these things also come from a place of, I know who I am. I know who I want to be. I know who I want around me. I know my value. I know my self-worth. I know all of these things. You know, it's hard to get to that point and get through it faster if you don't know any of that. So, and like I've spent the past 3 years of my life trying to figure all of that out. And I feel like I'm at a point where I can get through it much faster, but it's still hard. And I don't want to show people that, you know, you can just avoid it. Like it's not that. Like the reason you should know yourself and all of these other things that I talk about is because I want people to be able to get through it faster and to get through it in a better mindset than, you know, previously. Yeah, there's a lot I can say about this, but I'm going to stop here because I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. So if there are any questions, comments, concerns that you have about anything that I've said in this video, let me know and I will try to make a video about, you know, like any of the questions and things like that. And I also will be updating more about these topics as well as time continues. So, you know, let me know. Let me know, but I'm going to stop here. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around with my craziness.